Right, 12 August 2024. And today I'm going to be giving you yet another update, as we do usually and every day, regarding the events that are taking place in Harare. And this morning I had said that I was going to be traveling to Harare to attend the NSA meeting. And unfortunately, or fortunately, that meeting was cancelled as SADC is facing a crisis in Harare. There is a lot of boycotts taking place of the meetings of SADC. Many stakeholders are not attending SADC meetings because of the human rights violations that are taking place in Harare. So I just want to let you see the message that I received this morning. So just as I was leaving, the meeting has been cancelled, and this was at 8 a.m. And I had to turn back because it was not there. The meeting was not there. It's crazy what's happening with SADC. SADC is starting to realize that having Mnangagwa as the chairperson is going to be a tall order. It's going to be very difficult. And SADC is losing credibility on each and every day because they're remaining silent, whereas 120 young Zimbabweans are locked up in jail by Mnangagwa, the person who's going to be their chairperson. And key stakeholders who understand human rights, they don't like what is happening, and they are boycotting the events of SADC. People are not attending those events. So what SADC has done, they have brought in a group of young people from around SADC. And this is the meeting that they are actually having, because the serious meetings are not taking place. And serious meetings are taking place outside of Harare. So yesterday, a meeting took place in Angola, a meeting of the finance ministers. So you can see how crazy it is. A function is taking place in Harare, and the actual meetings that are successful are taking place outside of the venue of the SADC summit. And this is crazy. It's unbelievable what is happening. But that's how it is. So the SADC NSA meeting was cancelled today, and I could not attend because, as you can see, it was already cancelled, and there was no need for me to go over there. But it turned out to be a very eventful day today. And specifically, the issue of Nelson Chamisa, I'm very concerned about the way young Zimbabweans react. So far, we have over 50,000 views on the story of Nelson Chamisa and being blocked from going to Kenya. We have approached all the young people and said to them, look at what has happened. Nelson Chamisa has been stopped from traveling to Kenya. We don't know how safe he is. We don't know who's got his phones. And we don't know who's in charge of his communications right now. The young people are very skeptical. They want to see the head of Nelson Chamisa removed from his shoulders and put on a plate. That is the only time they'll realize and believe that Nelson Chamisa is in danger. So when people say we're going to demonstrate, we're going to run around, we're going to do all sorts of things, you can immediately see that this is just talk. Because here is a situation that we've given you. Nelson Chamisa has been placed in some sort of guard by ZANU-PF and is not capable of moving around and doing what he's supposed to do. My sources say ZANU-PF is so afraid that if Nelson Chamisa even walks to the shop, there will be a massive crowd of people and they don't know what is going to happen. So they don't want Nelson Chamisa to even walk outside. That is how bad this situation is. They want him to stay indoors because if he walks outside, they don't know what is going to be the outcome because they believe he's so popular that people are just going to follow him around. Have you seen Nelson Chamisa walking around since the election? How many times have you seen Chamisa in public ever since the election? So when I say to people that you need to make sure you react when certain information comes out, you cannot just sit there and do nothing. And this includes the leaders. I've been receiving calls here from the leaders of the opposition since we produced this story this afternoon. So they say to me, please confirm this, please confirm that. Then I asked them, do you know what about the meeting to Kenya? Have you seen or spoken to Nelson Chamisa? They have not spoken to him. They've not talked to him. They don't know. They've never seen him. So what is it that you're doubting? Do you want to see the head of Nelson Chamisa? Then you believe that he's in trouble. So that is what I always say to people. In Zimbabwe, you're not yet serious as the opposition. When your leader is in some sort of trouble and you don't even react, you don't demand answers. You have to demand answers so that your leader is produced and your leader is shown and your leader shows himself. How can you believe in something typed when we've told you that your leader is in trouble and these communications have been taken over? So that is the problem with young Zimbabweans. Too much social media. But when it comes to ground, nothing. We want something to start happening on the ground. And this is very, very important. And it needs to be organized. You can't just expect things to spontaneously happen. So whoever is the leader who is left outside, we expect them to make demands for answers. I want to go to the third story. And I'm going to end on the issue of Chamisa tomorrow. During the day, we'll give you an update on what's happening over there. And here is your leader of the opposition, your mayor. He was today at the National Heroes Acre. And that is Mafume there, your spokesperson of the CCC. And then the young kids who got an award from Nangabwa, very brave kids, these ones. And obviously, Minotago, she took the cake today. You can see her makeup there. That was amazing. So I don't know if you guys saw this makeup, but this is probably something of interest. And then you go to the sitting arrangements. Mnangagwa has taken away his bodyguards because obviously the mother is around. So the bodyguards have moved backwards. They are no longer between him and Chiwenga. Then the guys have removed the scarves. So everyone has removed the scarf. Today, no one was wearing a scarf. And that includes Mnangagwa. Mnangagwa rarely removes his scarf. And today he wasn't wearing a scarf. So everyone is starting to see that national events are not ZANU-PF events. So no one was wearing a scarf. And so it was an amazing display. I think what I can say is that it's becoming clear that ZANU-PF is failing to handle independence. There is no money to bring the bones of the people that have died in the bush. So they admitted today that they're not able to find money to bring back the bodies, to find the bodies of the people who died in the war and bring them back into Zimbabwe. They've made that admission. And Mnangagwa has also admitted that they don't have that money. So we're in a tricky situation where your people who died during the Heroes or whatever war which happened in the past, the War of Independence, they are stuck in the bush and the government of Zimbabwe doesn't have money to bring them back. Very sad situation. And I want to end with tomorrow. Tomorrow is Defense Forces Day. And I don't want to say more. I've said enough. Since 2020, I've been talking about the Zimbabwe soldiers and their welfare. So, Maganas, I've done my best for you. I don't know what else I can do. If you look at what Opam Chinguri has been saying since 2020, the situation is still the same. I made a video in 2020 on the same issues, and the situation still remains the same. Soldiers in Zimbabwe are not making any money. The conditions of service are terrible. They can barely eat. They don't have uniforms. And I think if you guys don't believe me, that I've been representing the soldiers for so long, I want to show you a video that I made in 2020. That was crazy, where I said the military of Zimbabwe was failing to patrol the borders. So you can imagine, this is 2020, right? Patrolling with the police and in the front line, exposed to coronavirus, but they do not have the protection that they should have. Instead of going to the barracks to quarantine after deployment, soldiers have to go straight home into the communities. Right, so that was me in 2020. It's like Back to the Future. Can you believe it? I have been talking about the welfare of soldiers since 2020. They are still not able to patrol the borders. They don't have equipment. They don't have uniforms. They are still depending on insurance from EcoCash. So EcoCash gave them free insurance for all the soldiers. That is what they're depending on. And then the garrison shops that were promised by Opam Chunguri are not there. Can you believe that all the promises that Opam Chunguri made are not there? The Zimbabwe military still doesn't have enough cars to carry their employees or their soldiers. If there's a war today which breaks out, the contingents that the Zimbabwe military has made is that they've got a right to take food from shops. Can you believe this is the real plan that the Zimbabwe military has got? That if there's a breakout of war, they've got a right to go to shops and take food and fuel from around. This war wouldn't be won. There's no way that the Zimbabwe military can win any war with that kind of a plan. But that is the plan that they've got. And I'm not making this up. You can check the military plans of the Zimbabwe National Army. It's crazy. It's a crazy situation. But let's wrap up with a recap. So the SADC in summit in Zimbabwe is facing massive problems. And today they've cancelled the NSA meeting, which was supposed to take place for the last day today. So that meeting never took place. That's why you see SADC is not showing any pictures. Nothing is happening in Zimbabwe. And this is because people are boycotting. Key stakeholders are boycotting the meetings of SADC. They don't want anything to do with it because of the 120 activists, opposition activists who are stuck in jail, including Namatai Kukweza right now. So we have a situation. Let's see what happens on Wednesday when the ministers are supposed to start. So on Wednesday, the ministers are supposed to start, and let's see if they attend that meeting. Then Nelson Chamisa, we have had confirmation that Nelson Chamisa is under some kind of guard or constraint or inability to move around. They have taken over his communications. So if you talk to Nelson Chamisa, do not believe anything that's being said, because it's probably someone is holding his phone or someone is WhatsApping on his phone. And my understanding is that he has recently communicated to people on a different phone number. I've got 5 numbers of Nelson Chamisa myself. I phoned those numbers today, all 5 numbers, and there's been no answer. What I was told was that if you want to talk to Nelson Chamisa, you must WhatsApp him, and then he will call you back, which gives me even more suspicion. Why does someone have to wait for him to call back? And you remember, this has been the case since the past 3 months. So I'm very concerned that Nelson Chamisa's situation needs to be clarified. What is happening? And Mnangagwa, has he grabbed him? And why? And this trip to Kenya, the sources that have given us that story, very, very credible, people that are very serious, who don't have to lie at all. So let's look at the comments. Evne says, where's Chamisa Morena? You're the only one who is claiming to know his whereabouts. Who is knowing where Chamisa is? So I want to give you a chance to come here and tell us where is Chamisa, because I have his numbers, not one. And those numbers were being answered just 2 or 3 weeks ago. No, so if you know him, there I've put a stream there, someone who knows where Chamisa is and who can show us that he did not try to travel to Kenya and was blocked. There, come and talk right now. I've put you on the spot. Then, so SADC is scared of Chizig. No, Chizig is gone. Zig is dead. I'll show you what has happened to the Zig. The banks have spoken today. They don't want anything to do with this fake Zig rate. And this is tonight. There was an update on the Zig today. And then Mkoma Knowledge says, what happened to Chamisa? Chamisa tried to travel to Kenya, according to our sources, and he was prevented from traveling to Kenya. The people in Kenya were expecting him to arrive. He didn't arrive. And when they called to Zimbabwe, someone else answered the phone and they gave them a threat. So that is the information that we've got. And then Gambakwe, how sure are you about the coming demo guide, my man? Okay, there's no demonstration taking place. And believe me, the only demo that is taking place is dialogue. So I believe in dialogue, and I believe that everyone should go for the dialogue. Please go and have a look at the uploads that we made today on the 50-year strategy. And then Erisha says, Gambakwe is a filthy liar Why is it that the meeting has been cancelled when we were supposed to attend? All right, Mkoma Erisha, here is the cancellation. High pardon, the meeting has been cancelled. Non-state actors engagement in Zimbabwe. So I don't know what kind of a filthy liar you want me to be. That's all I can give you. I cannot attend a meeting that has been cancelled. And then Mkomanda say in Blaoi, they do not want ZIG. They're saying not, okay, yes, no one wants the ZIG. If you see the ZIG, swipe it. That thing is fake. It's not money. So I would like to thank all of you for watching. We'll be here in the morning, 5 a.m. I'll be giving you an update. Thank you very much for the massive engagement. We're getting over 100,000 views a day. But now it's time for action. We need to translate our interest into action. We can't just leave the situation to deteriorate the way it is. And as I said, myself, I'm interested in dialogue, and we want to push dialogue. We don't want to push these short-term things. We want a 50-year strategy, and we want everyone to be involved and everyone to be part of it. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching, and a good day.